Julie's husband Pat was at the community gardens last week when I was down there.
Oh, I didn't know they had one here.
They have the ADA accessible ones, because they weren't taken. And he was like, "Well, I hate to see these go to waste." And so they got all kinds of pretty flowers in there.
Awesome. We have some of our work that we do is out at Charleston Mills and Victoria, which is
Okay. It is 7:00. We don't know. Eric, looks like you just went off mute.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize my camera was not on.
Can you hear us though?
Yes, I can.
No, we're fixed.
we fixed
Okay,
it.
great. Then I'm going to call this meeting to order. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion by Councilmember Sayer,
Second.
second by Pasco. Any further discussion? All right. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Pasco,
Aye.
Councilmember Conrad,
Aye.
Councilmember Sayer,
Aye.
Councilmember Hirschman,
Aye.
Mayor Johnson.
Aye. Motion passes. All right. We are up to community comment. Presenters are welcome to address the council for matters that are relevant to the City of Carver's authority for up to 5 minutes for anything that's not listed on tonight's agenda. Specific requests for information may not be immediately available, which can, in that case, we'll follow up with you later at some time after the meeting. The City Council should not be expected to immediately act on requests. However, staff or one of us will follow up accordingly, and we may schedule items for future consideration. Come on up.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Thank you for the opportunity for allowing me to speak with you tonight. I'm Matt Steen, a candidate for Carver County Sheriff. I'm a U.S. Army National Guard veteran. I have 29 years of experience, law enforcement experience, 17 of those years being in supervisory and leadership roles with the Richfield Police Department. I've worked patrol, SWAT, investigations, undercover operations. I'm currently at the rank of a sergeant there for the city of Richfield. I've managed complex incidents, civil unrest like the Republican National Convention, security at Super Bowl 52, and all the big operational shifts in law enforcement after 2020. In 2022, I pioneered Minnesota's first distracted driving enforcement vehicle. That vehicle became a statewide model. It was adopted by 13 other agencies statewide. I'm running for Carver County Sheriff as a one-term candidate, 4 years only. My focus is simple: to deliver experienced servant leadership that strengthens the sheriff's office for the next generation. Carver County is growing, and with that growth brings real pressure on public safety. Cities feel it every day with response times, staffing, school safety, and the cost of overtime driven by high turnover. I've seen what works and doesn't work from a high volume metro environment. True leadership means staying connected to the street. You cannot effectively lead what you no longer understand. I will lead from the front, train with deputies, be visible, and make decisions grounded in the realities our people face every day. My priorities are clear and practical. First, recruiting and retention. Chronic understaffing drives up overtime and weakens coverage. I'll work with the county board on competitive pay, targeted incentives, clear career paths, and a real wellness program. Mental health support through a trusted local clinician, and peer support so good deputies stay and want to work here. Second, school safety. With our own children, eventually grandchildren here in local schools, this is personal. I strongly support school resource officers that make real, true connections and build good relationships within the schools. I want to expand the school resource officer program and provide more training with threat assessment, crisis response, youth interaction, and partner closely with every school district on prevention and emergency planning. Third, true community-oriented policing and partnerships with all our cities. I want deputies to know Main Street business owners by name and be more visible in the neighborhoods. Full staffing, smart deployment, and technology will support faster response times across every community. You're gonna get transparency and regular communication from me and no surprises. And finally, fiscal responsibility is non-negotiable. Better staffing controls overtime, strong retention saves the 100,000 plus it costs to hire a deputy and train them. And I plan on using targeted grants and efficient operations to deliver better services without waste. I offer the broadest street level and supervisory experience in the race, combined with a one-term commitment and servant leadership philosophy that puts residents and deputies first. I'm ready to strengthen the partnerships between the sheriff's office and every city in Carver County so we can keep this place the safe, strong community we all love. Thank you for your time and everything you do for the residents. And I'd be honored to earn your support August 11th. I have a little pamphlet I'd like to hand out if
Yep.
possible.
Yep.
Okay.
Mayor
And-
Johnson, can I ask one
Sure.
question?
Yes.
Because
Told him nobody would ask
Oh, I'm
questions.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
you brought up twice in your hello here to us that it's a one term is what you're looking for. You don't usually hear that from candidates. Can you just explain to me briefly why one term is kind of your hard line?
It is, well, first I made a promise to my family. That's all I would do is one term. And I'm going to stick to that. Secondly, I want to do one term because I feel like I understand the changes that are necessary. And my plan is when I make the primary election to take some time and build my first 180 days in office. And so then when I'm elected as sheriff, I can go to the county board and I can go to the residents and say, this is why I was elected. And this is what we need to fund. This is what we need to concentrate on. And not worry about any type of politics being involved or worry about being reelected. I feel the one-term pledge is important for that aspect, to be able to do exactly what I need to do without any hindrances. I've had people ask me, Matt, how are you going to do it in 4 years? And I truly believe if I bring in the right command staff and I have leadership behind me, backing me, and leading by example, that mission will get carried on with the next person. I just want to leave it better. I'm really doing this for the residents, my children and grandchildren. So,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Kai Tran. I am running for County Commissioner District 5. I have been in the county since November of 2000. It's been 25 plus years, 25 years in Chanhassen. And so got to know the eastern side of the county very well. My wife and I have a nonprofit that we have done a lot of work within the county. Specifically here in the city of Carver, we partnered up with the fire department, the Carver Lions, to do the Carver Bike Rodeo for about 10 years. And the last 3 years, we do the mobile bike repair clinic out at the transit station. So why am I running for commissioner? I ask myself that every day because I don't know why. I have this prompting, I have this calling, I have this push to do something more. I have been immersed in the community of Carver County for the past 2.5 decades, and I feel very, very passionate about building community. Spending the last 10 months out here in Dahlgren Township, just south of Cologne, we intentionally moved out here because we want this way of life. We love it out here, and we want to protect this culture, this way of life. And the more that I talk to the residents who have been here for generations, and the more that I talk to people who have just moved into the community, the more that I feel very strongly about this prompting of going for this public seat. There's not a bone in my body that has ever wanted to run for public office, and here I am. And I tell you that because I'm very transparent in everything that I do and everything that I say. I feel, even in the very short 10 months that I've been out here, District 5 is underrepresented at the county board. We have 5 cities, 6 townships, some on a significant growth path. And I'm just loving what you guys are doing here. And some are losing residents every single year. And so there are multiple growth plans for District 5. And I don't believe that there is a collective, a collaboration across all of District 5 that really takes into account what we want to build and continue to build out here in the rural western side of the county. So having said that, why do I think I am qualified? I spent 3 decades building businesses, large corporations, small mom and pop shops. I've helped a number of entrepreneurs start their business, figure out how to create a brand, how to create a good team around them, and then collaborate across the entire sector. In the last 18 and a half years, like I said, my wife and I started our nonprofit called A Better Society with one purpose in mind. The only intention is how do we engage in the community? Because if we feel like I do sometimes not connecting to my neighbors, to my community, I know there are others out there like me. So how do we provide as a community, how do we provide opportunities for people to engage, to feel welcome, and to feel that they bring value to the community, whether it's here in the City of Carver, whether it's out in Camden Township, whether it's in San Francisco Township. I've been to a lot of the township meetings, and it's unfortunate and disappointing to see not a lot of people coming together because they're very dispersed and there's not a lot of communication. And that's one of the things that I do want to change. We don't have a physical newspaper. Online is good, but not relevant to some people out, especially out here in the western side of the county. We have an opportunity using technology to push this information out there, to take the recorded county board meetings, to take the 20-something pages of PDF with so many motions and votes and all the stuff that may or may not matter out in District 5. To take this and in 5 minutes, push a newsletter with District 5 relevant information and countywide information. I don't think many residents in the entire county know that the county board has the responsibility of determining how much of an increase or not they get every year. The significant change has been the last 3 years to go from $77,000 for a part-time job at the county level to almost $96,000. And I believe as a taxpayer, as all taxpayers, that information is out there, but many people don't know that. There are other things that I believe need a spotlight shown at the county level to make sure that that information is transparent to everyone. So I just want to thank you. I am excited to be here. I'm excited to be out in the community. As Matt was saying, I don't view this as a career for me. I don't want to do this, but again, I feel compelled to be here. I will be pushing and proposing at the county level for term limits. We don't need a 20, 30-year term.
Kai, I'm going to ask you to wrap it up. I'm sorry. I thought you were wrapping it up there and I didn't want to
Yes.
jump in, but
Thank you very much.
thank you. Thank you, Kai. Okay, let's see. We do not have any presentations and reports, nor do we have any public hearings this evening. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Councilmember Conrad,
I'll second.
second by Councilmember Sayer. Any further discussion? Can we get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Pasco.
Aye.
Councilmember Conrad.
Aye.
Councilmember Sayer.
Aye.
Councilmember Kirschman.
Aye.
Mayor Johnson.
Aye, motion passes. All right, the one big item we have on our agenda tonight is the design and development presentation for our public services facility. Mr. Simmons.
Almost there.
You're fine.
display settings. Duplicate.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Good evening. Tonight is going to be a follow-up of our discussion from last week. So very similar topics, and a little more information that the council requested for last meeting. So just follow up. At the July 20th meeting, we spoke about the history of public works, utilities, public services, facilities in the city of Carver. We went through the space study findings that had been done previously the year before. We presented the site plan, floor plan, building elevation, and the new cost estimate. There was discussion that evening that led to the east mezzanine being removed from the floor plan, which had a cost savings, and that was reflected in the newest budget that we have for tonight. There's some follow-up requested on the return on investment for the solar array, and then discussion about the cost benefit on the exterior building finish on the office and employee support area being clay tile and metal paneling versus an EIFS finish. So we spoke with our architect, who's got a little more experience in setting up solar arrays than we do. So right now we have budgeted, that's included in the budget that we saw last meeting, and it's included in the budget that you'll see tonight. But upfront cost of $120,000. So that would produce 50,000 kilowatt hours there annually, and it would power up 80% of the building's annual lighting load. So they're estimating an ROI of about 20 to 25 years on that. So if we want to discuss that now or save it for the end, we can come back.
If you're okay with it, let's discuss these as they come up.
Yep.
So you say lighting load, that's just lighting, that doesn't include heat or AC or anything like
Right.
that.
I think the lighting load is probably the easiest thing for them to calculate, right?
Okay.
So, because that's probably a constant.
Sure. Okay.
So that's what that would be. It's not going to be 80% of your electric bill.
I
Right?
guess that was my question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And then how long will what is the life expectancy on panels?
I don't know that answer.
Okay.
So it just notes the lighting in here. Is this meant to help with our heating costs and other thing, or is this only going to be for the electricity for the lighting? I mean, are there other things that it's going to take care of?
I mean, it will take care of other things, but I think they just put lighting on there for an example.
Okay. So regardless then of whether we add things on, it says just the 80% of the lighting load, ROI, no matter how much whatever's written here, is still expected to be 20, 25 years. Okay.
Lighting, I think, is just the metric that they chose to.
Sure. I just wanted to
Measure.
make sure even if we added where it was helping out with heating or it was helping out with whatever it might be, ROI is still expected to be 20,
Yeah.
25. Okay.
Kayla, any thoughts?
With this information, our goal of this project has been the life of the loan. If knowing the life expectancy of solar panels, 25 years for an ROI, I'm not comfortable spending the $120,000 today for something that might pay itself off by the end of the loan, but also might fail by the end of the loan.
Lori?
Yeah, the 20 to 25 years is too. Sorry, the 20 to 25 years is too long to make the investment worth it for what we want to afford or want to pay today. So I would be in favor of removing the solar array.
Eric?
Yeah, so I have a question about the math. A kilowatt hour from Xcel Energy is about 18 cents. Times 50,000 is $9,000. Times 20 years is $180,000. Are we sure the math is right there?
Did you take off the 20%? Because this is 80% of the building's lighting load.
He's
No,
doing
I
a
just
different equation.
calculated 50,000 kilowatt hours and the cost of that.
Okay.
And at 18 cents a kilowatt hour, assuming the price of electricity never went up, that's $180,000
Sorry.
in 20 years. So that would be an ROI coming up faster than 20 to 25 years. So I want to be sure the math is right before we make a decision on that.
Yeah, we can look at that again. It's tough when we don't put the numbers together, and I don't feel 100% confident in it. Then I guess
Yeah, I don't feel 100% confident.
it's
in that
not.
number, because I'm
It's not a decision that is going to impact anything significantly tonight or tomorrow. So I think it's a discussion that we can keep having, because
yeah.
if you decide tonight that you don't want the panels, the roof does not change at all. If you decided that we want the panel, nothing else changes except that budget number. It just stays in there until we make a better decision further down the line.
Is the kilowatts per hour, is there a different rate that, are you looking at residential, Eric, I'm assuming?
I'm looking at the lowest posted rate from Xcel Energy.
Okay.
The rate goes higher than that.
Okay.
I'm looking at today's lowest posted rate and
Okay.
just multiplying it out. So if there's no sense in the ROI, I'm not for it, but I want to be sure the math is right before I make a decision on that. And to me, that doesn't look right.
I agree, Eric. The 2025. Well, I agree with the other council members that it doesn't seem like that's a long time to be hoping to get ROI back. But again, if the numbers are a little bit off, I'd rather make sure we have them
Yeah,
correct.
I'm able to, and Andrew Cooper, the architect with Artel, gave a explanation, and I'll forward this on to the council. But his analysis is a 3-phase service at 25 kilowatt hours. So the availability charge $70 a month, demand charge $16.50 per kilowatt, energy charge. He has it at for the first 100 kilowatt hours, 7 cents per kilowatt hour, and over 100 kilowatt hours, 5 cents. So that's
Okay. Well, if the math is right and if it's a 25-year ROI, I wouldn't support it, but
we can ask
I've
him.
learned, this surprises me that it would take that long for the system to pay for itself. I could be wrong.
Yeah, and I seem to recall there was something that the PUC passed last year that changed some of this, but something we're going to look into more. I think, maybe there's other programs out there that we're not thinking of, and maybe 5 years from now the panels get added and there's a better program and it makes more sense at that time. So
It costs half as much, yeah.
Yeah, if this doesn't change anything, I mean, we can just move on, I think,
Mhm.
because as long as the structure's built to stand the load, then I
you
think
always
we're
have the
good.
opportunity to do it.
Yeah, right.
So you don't need us to say one way or another on solar tonight.
Not tonight, but by I think construction, like by the 17th, you'd want some direction. But
Yeah.
while Andrew's bringing this up, or finishing it, I'm going to be forwarding him this email. It's a little clunky with the Zoom, but we'll get it up and you can do some analysis here.
Okay.
All right, let's move on from that. So here is the exterior building finish. So this depiction here is the metal panel and the clay tile. So if you change the metal panel to EFIS, you're saving the 50,000, and if you change the clay tile to the EFIS, there you're saving 26,000. So let's keep that in mind here. And then this would be the full facade being EFIS, including those darker areas, the gray areas. So those wouldn't be metal panel anymore either. So looking at what the costs are for construction costs, so the clay tile and the metal is 103,000. If you went all EFS, that's 41,000. So then the estimated 25-year maintenance costs that came from the architect as well. Very little maintenance on the clay tile, more maintenance on the EFS. So at the end of the day, it's probably about the same cost, and that's over a 25-year period. So that is replacing the sealant and the joints of the EFS every, or probably twice in the 25-year lifespan. That's repainting it once in that lifespan. Any small cracks or large cracks, those need to be repaired. We would probably have an inspection by somebody every 5 years to make sure that there's nothing weird happening or water getting behind that. Now, if there was a damage on the clay tile and the metal tile, it's going to be more expensive just because of the cost of those. But the whatever's damaging it would damage just about anything if it's going to damage the clay tile or the metal panel. So
Thank you for doing this. This was like an aha moment, and I love to see this in the packet. For me, I think it feels like clay and metal tile are as low maintenance, if not maintenance free, as we can get. And I think that that's a better investment in the long run. Any other thoughts? Same.
I agree.
I agree.
Agree.
Okay.
Easy one.
All right. That was an easy one.
you want to jump back?
I have Zoom brought up, so if you just give me the date or dongle there, I can like. So I'm just so we can keep our rhythm here, I'm gonna pop over and share my screen. Oh, there, that's probably. I got it. All right, so you can see this is from Andrew Cooper, our architect with Ortel. So we can ask him to verify. We don't have like the calculations in detail, but this is what their electrical engineer worked through to arrive at their cost. Similar to trucks, I have no idea what this means. But
I'm not finding it helpful.
I feel like this could be written in a different language and I might understand it more. Eric,
how's your brain doing with all this?
yeah, I feel like you might have a little bit more of solar literacy
I mean,
than I
if
do.
we're paying 5 cents a kilowatt hour, that does change the math. Let's do this. I really do want to dive into this a little bit more. So I'll take it on to to talk to Andrew after sometime during the week and just get a little better educated on it, because I don't. There needs to be an ROI for me to go forward on it as well, but I don't know that I understand it well enough to make a decision tonight, and we're not, so that's okay.
Yeah. And we'll have Andrew Cooper at your meeting on the 17th to present on the kind of the next phase. And so we can blend that in and just verify and call out some space to have that discussion in more detail.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I don't know if I need this, right?
Yeah, you need it to be able to share.
Aren't I in the meeting?
No, we don't share with each other.
Oh, you know?
I'm in the
You share
meeting.
through
Oh, you're in the
Zoom.
meeting. I'll be on the night.
Hi, how's it going?
Trucks,
You need
solar,
push.
and Zoom.
Solar and Zoom.
We can run through the site plan if any would like anything specific on that.
Has anything changed?
No,
Great.
nothing has changed. The office plan again, nothing has changed, right? Oops. Here's the main level plan, and then they did give us a rendering of what the mock-up of the garage space would actually look like.
So there will be those beams in the center.
Yep,
Okay.
which is not uncommon.
Do you think that's enough windows? I mean, it looks. We know it's going to be the building it is, right? But seems really.
Those
Or is this just
those
a-
windows are internal to the office. Those aren't the
Oh, okay.
exterior windows. Those are the ones in front of that countertop in the
Gotcha.
hallway.
Okay.
There's windows back on the back wall,
Mhm.
way back there. And then you're probably almost viewing this from a window, almost like you're peeking inside, kind
Okay.
of.
I was looking at that as an out exterior window. So okay.
Yeah, these are along that hallway by the break room, training room.
Gotcha.
And then vehicle maintenance, and then these are the renderings from there. So this is standing at the welding area, looking at truck lifts, mezzanine space above that, and the jib crane, gantry crane. And then this is the other view looking out at the vehicle maintenance. This will be the updated mezzanine plan without the east mezzanine. And then just elevations again that we all saw last week. So this is the most up-to-date budget that we have. So this removes the east mezzanine. So it took it from the 32.1 to the 31.8.
So this has yet to show if we choose not to go with solar. That will be an additional
120.
off of the 31.8 that we're seeing right here.
31.7.
Right, but I'm just saying like that's we haven't. I mean, if we add that, there'll be another reduction below that. So
Yep.
Okay.
And then tax impacts.
Yeah, I can kind of jump in. So the tax impacts remain the same. I think maybe a critical question for council discussion. So what we did with that mezzanine savings is we didn't change the property tax calculation. So now you're at just over a $5 million contingency. And so this is really, I think, a philosophy choice for the council. I mean, you could shave that down. Now there's kind of an art to, do you want to carry that contingency and show residents and other community stakeholders, businesses, etc., the tax impact at 33 million? Or do you want to like shave that down, thinking you might be at a lower number, knowing that $5 million is a significant contingency? You know, we've been advocating to have the council consider at your August 17th meeting doing construction drawings. I think, you know, if members weren't on the council, at least I think everyone was in the community, you know, thinking back to the city hall, there was like kind of a October surprise, if you will, with the construction drawing phase for City Hall, where the design development cost was projected lower, and then the construction drawings came in higher, and we had kind of socialized the budget number for the building to the community. And so that's kind of staff's bias, or my bias specifically, is it hate over promising and under delivering on budget. But you know, this is a generational project for the community, so we want to tailor our communications to your comfort level. So question for discussion for the council.
Can you remind me, if we authorize construction drawings at our next meeting, when would those be ready?
Can you advance? I think it's like a 4 to 6 month. If you go one more, 4 to 6 month phase.
Okay. So
And I-
not enough time to do that October and November
No,
engagement. Okay.
no.
I think we need to keep in. I haven't given this a ton of thought. I think we need to keep in the $5 million contingency. I don't like the idea of a $5 million contingency. We could have built this building 6 years ago, 7 years ago for $5 million. But having gone through the process for building this building, I don't want that last minute surprise of, oops, we need to do other things. I think we can whittle down the contingency when we get a little bit closer and kind of know what we've discovered with those construction drawings. Do you know, is there a percentage of best practice for contingency for a project like this?
I'd be speculating if I
Okay.
mean, from an engineering standpoint, it's usually around 20%, correct, Aaron?
Yeah, when we get to this level, we may consider starting to drop it to
Okay.
maybe down to 10, but
Percent.
I don't want to speak for building projects specifically. That's what I would do for more of a civil project.
Okay.
I would. Oh, could you go back to the property tax piece? I would offer, like, you can see kind of in real time the difference that 2 million makes. So you're talking about articulating somewhere probably between an $8 and $4 reduction, and what the positive impact that might be compared to having a $5 million board in the seat of your pants. You know, doesn't mean you have to spend it or you're gonna approve that. It's just, it does set a ceiling that this is the most that you'd be willing to consider, at least at this point in time.
Does anybody else have any strong feelings or any thoughts that they want to share?
I'm always a big fan of under promising and over delivering. So I'm okay with the contingency staying as it is, at least until we get some construction drawings.
Christy?
Seems like a large contingency number, but if I'm doing the math right, it's 0.146% of the total construction cost. So I don't know, Eric, am I right? Am I doing my math right?
It's about 15%.
Yep. So, as knowing that we can drop it later, right? Are you 33%, Brent?
And a third. She has her calculator.
I
out
do.
to
I didn't just do it in my head. No, I didn't do it in my head.
Oh,
Um,
then I'm not impressed.
okay. I was close. I had to check it though. Okay, but if it's something we can look at later, I don't know. Seems like a big number, but I would also, like you said, I don't think, Courtney, that was the best thing to say, that we could have built this city hall for that number. It's a
Well,
contingency,
but here's the thing, like, we're not married to that contingency number until we go out for bond, right?
Yeah, and even then, like, our plan is to not do the sale of the bond until you actually have bids in hand.
Yeah.
So you could really refine this. I mean, can you go to the schedule slide, please? I mean, the kind of a big decision once the community engagement process concludes, or that phase of the community engagement process concludes, when you get the presentation at that design phase, you'll have a new number, and then we'd be asking the city council to consider ordering a public hearing for the financing for the project, and there you set that max number. And so that's where, like, the contingency kind of question really becomes relevant. But
Okay.
until then, it's this, I mean, I think it's a fairly simple thing to explain to somebody. Doesn't mean everyone would agree with it, but I feel confident explaining. I don't want to have a conversation with you again that says, well, we think it's going to be 2 million more. It'd be more productive, I think, and build a better relationship if it was like, well, it met, we used all of it up and it's still the same impact, or it's a little more down and it's this impact, but going back to somebody once they have that top number in their mind and then saying it's more than that, this, in my experience, creates all sorts of trust and fulfillment issues.
Okay. Like I said, if we have the opportunity to lessen this at a later date when we have better numbers, then I'm fine with it just the way it is.
Lori?
I'm fine with it just the way it is. Knowing the information that we have now, this is what we anticipate, but as things get refined more, or maybe there's something that we took out that we'll bring back in, gives us a chance to be a little flexible and get community feedback.
Eric?
I'm super happy we went from 35 to 32 million. So I think that's great work. So, there are a lot of moving parts here. I'm fine leaving it the way it is. It gives us room if there's something unexpected. We're not at a point we have to finalize.
All right. Thank you.
So just put a spotlight on the community engagement plan. So we've tweaked this just a bit on for September. We've so Brenda Good and Andrew and myself met with Nicole Krause at Bolton and Mink, and we've made a change. We're moving towards what we're calling a community newsletter on this project, because we don't feel like we can articulate this project in 2 pages. And although we've been talking about it for what seems like years, or we have been talking about it for years, and have had different bits and pieces, we wanted to go into it thinking that when someone reads this, they'll have no idea what we're talking about. And so we want to tell the whole story, not presume that they have heard other parts of the story. And in doing so, like a separate community newsletter that is like mailed, similar to if you remember like the Broadway City Hall project, it went out as a separate piece. It wasn't in an envelope. It was like on a little thicker or sturdier of a paper. Right now, the way our utility bill program works, not everyone signs up for like a paper copy of a utility bill. So like the readership might be a little bit lower. Even through best effort, some of our folks that live in apartments or rentals might not get their hands on it. This way, everybody that has a City of Carver mailing address gets it, and they see it right away instead of, even if it's in a utility bill, they might pitch it or not read the full newsletter. So we'd still do newsletter stuff to complement it and say like, be on the lookout for this and still include it. But we wanted to have one document that was the foundation to build all of our other community engagement pieces on top. So that's one. And then 2, we had initially contemplated a public hearing at that first meeting in February, and we moved that, if you're gonna move the slide ahead, we moved that back to February 16th, so that when the council makes final decisions on construction drawings, we can insert any kind of last minute updates into that February newsletter so that people are prepared for that public hearing to express their opinions and point of views on the most relevant and newest information on the project, rather than trying to try to figure out how to get that to them before the public hearing. So those were the 2 changes that were made since the last time you saw this. So open to suggestions on different strategies or ideas for connection.
You do such a good job of really trying to make sure that all the communication touch points are hit. Like the idea of moving the public hearing back to the second meeting in February is genius. Like, yes, absolutely. Let's make sure that we can get that into the February newsletter article so that folks can know about it. I think that's great. Any other thoughts, Eric? Sorry, I'm calling Eric last all night. So,
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
okay, Lori,
I'm sorry.
No.
Christy.
Maybe I missed in part of what you're explaining. So because we have a gap there, because it goes February and then all the way to July 20. What's happening in between?
That's the calendar.
That's
pulled up.
the council's process schedule. So
Okay.
if you go back one slide, Andrew,
Oh, whoops. Okay.
this is community engagement.
Okay. Sorry about that. They were running into each other on my screen. So we're good. Thank you.
No comment.
Okay. Good. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Did we want to go back? Do you guys have like that ended really abruptly? Do you have what you need from us?
I think so. We'll follow up with more solar stuff as we learn more.
Okay.
But I think the rest we got the.
Okay. Thank you. Let's see. You want to just circle back on Mount Hope Road?
Mhm. Yeah, so we talked a little bit at the work session, and Aaron, our city engineer, was talking about timing for some of the Mount Hope Road construction and what that looks like. I just wanted to mention a couple of touch points I had from residents over the weekend. One we talked about briefly during the work session, and that was the mail issue of our residents being able to get their mail in a timely manner. And I know that we had discussed briefly how that can be taken care of, but I do want to impress again that I would really like to see something like hard figured out by the end of this week, because by that point, that will be, 2.5 weeks or so that I've been told that by the end of this week, where residents aren't able to get their mail. And when you think about that timing, that could be like your water bill coming and not getting it in time, and then they have to go to Chanhassen to pick it up. So I don't think that's an expectation that we want from this project or for our residents either. A couple of other things that came up were when they're out and people are like, if they have to block off driveways during this time, which we know is going to happen. Sometimes I've heard that sometimes, yes, they'll get like a knock on the door that says, hey, if you need to leave, we're going to need to start here in so much time. Could you move your car? And then a couple other times that it hasn't happened. So someone was kind of stuck in their driveway for like 4 hours and couldn't. I mean, if you have to go to a job or something, that could be pretty tough. So if you could just make sure if there's going to be something where they can't leave their driveway, they can't get out, that every time that we just have them get, knock on the door of that neighbor so that they can get out and move their car if they need to.
Understood.
There was one other one, and the person who brought this to me is a very nice person and wanted to be helpful, but when they were doing some concrete work, so I know they were running some buggies up and down, which need water. And so they asked a resident if they could use their hose and use some of the water from their home, which this homeowner did, nicely said, okay. But then another time this person was gone and came back and their hose had been moved. So they figured that they would possibly come back on the property. So I would think that we have water at the Lions Park there. So maybe if you want to touch base so that we don't ask residents to use their water, so.
Totally. And we've communicated, we've made the city water available, and we've talked about that in meetings, so.
Don't let them use the fire hydrants either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know, I mean, I can say one time for sure because this homeowner said, yes, you may, and they did. The other one was, an assumption being that the hose didn't look where it was. So those are just another thing that I think.
They shouldn't even be asking. It's
Correct,
inappropriate.
correct. But so now we'll make sure they get it from Lions or somewhere else.
Not Lions. We don't have a water facility.
Okay, somewhere else.
I do have a question, if it's okay,
Yeah.
Councilmember Conrad. I'm hearing from you, and I think maybe from the council, that like no mail disturbance whatsoever, because there could be times like if the curbing machine is there, that and it coincides with mail being delivered. So based on that, I would say we have to put in the mailboxes at all costs, start tomorrow, and make sure they get in. Is that accurate?
Yes, that would be
Okay.
Sure.
great.
We'll just move forward with the temp mailbox
Okay.
cluster.
And that will just solve all of it for the duration of the project, and then we won't have to worry about it again.
And just to maybe clarify the expectation, are we talking about just kind of that south end of the project where like from Lions to the south where kind of the major impacts are happening?
Well, I would assume for right now, we guess we'd have to reevaluate as we head up the hill if they're having the same issues. I don't know what
Yeah.
that means. I don't know if that it should be all done at once. I don't know the process with the post office, so I guess I can't say for sure. I know
Yeah.
the lower part right now
Mhm.
is the one having the trouble. I don't know. I
yeah.
can't speak to what might happen as they move up the hill.
I don't think that there's really been an issue with the residents that are on the northern part of the corridor.
Okay.
So I guess I would suggest we would start with kind of that southern portion that we've really been talking about tonight. And then we
And once
can,
you know the process better from the post office, if
Yeah.
you realize it takes 3 weeks to have it done or something like that, then we better get on it for the upper
Yeah,
part too.
yeah. And the problem is it's not that our post office here in Carver has been an issue. It's that they can't really handle it because it's like a postmaster issue. So then we have to go and engage with a different group. So which we will do.
Mhm.
Our
So,
post office is retail only. They don't do our mail carrying out of our post office.
okay.
All right.
I think that was enough for me.
Do you want to start with council communications?
Me? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I think I wasn't prepared to start with that. I think those were kind of my council communications. I don't know yet. Do we have an HPC meeting coming up next week, Brent? Do you know?
Yes, I think Aaron Schmidt's presenting on the certified levy project, and Andrew's doing a presentation on the public services facilities project.
Oh, great. Okay, so we will have HPC next Tuesday. If we all are aware, I'll just make the announcement. If you didn't know, Steamboat Days is coming up pretty soon. What? Yeah. So September 11th through 13th. And we're kind of coming down to that crunch time that makes me not sleep at night a lot. But I want to say thank you to Andrew and Paul Schultz. I've met with them again, and we'll be meeting a little bit more as we get closer to the event. So the city is great in kind of crossing some T's and dotting some I's for us also. So get ready. Get ready, everyone. That's all I have.
I wanted to shout out and thank Lynn for all of her work updating our cybersecurity protocols. We talked about it at our last work session, and it came to my attention kind of brutally last week when 50 plus communities got hacked and their water was affected. How important that work is. And so my communications, I just want to thank Lynn for all the work she's doing on that so that Carver's ready if something happens.
No updates.
Eric?
I don't have any updates.
All right. I don't have a ton of updates. Last Thursday was the first league board meeting with me as president. So very exciting. We had orientation for our new board members. We have 4 new folks, and then a new second vice president on our executive committee. Just wanted to call out on tonight's consent agenda. We approved some preliminary work for the levee project related to moving electrical lines, but to see that in the packet was like, wow, we're like really gonna do this. So super excited in the dorkiest way that you guys all know and understand. And then I just wanted to give a plug for tomorrow night is Night to Unite. It's a good opportunity to go out, meet your neighbors, maybe have a potluck, and support a really great organization. The Carver firefighters that'll be going out are going to be collecting non-perishable food items for Bountiful Basket and other items. I understand that they are running low on size 4 and 5 diapers. So this is a contest that is done by weight, and it's my understanding that those packages are pretty hefty. So diapers are a good one to bring. And then
How about watermelons?
Yeah, you could do that. I worry. So when the firefighters do this, and I don't know the logistics, but last year they were pulling the boxes, the stuff that they had collected from the top of the truck somewhere. So I'm a little bit worried about taking a turn and it like rolling off. They actually do collect, you know this, they collect a good amount of produce this time of year with gardens and stuff, but maybe don't.
Okay. All right.
All right. That's all I have. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by
I'll-
Councilmember Pasco.
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Conrad. Can we get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Pasco,
Aye.
Councilmember Conrad,
Aye.
Councilmember Sayer,
Aye.
Councilmember Frischman,
Aye.
Mayor Johnson.
Aye. Motion carries. Good evening.